Turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. You're shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Follow me down, there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go. Just let your body go. Just let your body go and move to the rhythm. Now we will go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got a few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms. Feel it in your legs. Feel it on your fingertips.
Hello everyone and welcome to week 2 of the NUEL Spring Championship. It's another week of the Swiss stage, and first up we have Loughborough and York. Today I'm joined by Mr. RW Dragon.
Good evening, everyone.
And I think we're just going to spend a little time talking about this first matchup, head into it, and sort of keep you updated with everything that's going on across the bracket. Have you seen these two teams recently, RW?
I mean, I've had the pleasure of casting both York and Loughborough in Society Showdown. I mean, York's sort of flown up through the UK university scene as of recently, especially in off-season events. I mean, they flew through, I believe, qualifiers for Society Showdown, and then they put on a fantastic performance during that entire competition for being eliminated by our team, Bournemouth Barracudas. And not only that, Bournemouth then went on to beat Loughborough in the semi-finals. So both these teams losing to the same team in Society Showdown, but Loughborough, they're sort of back on top, really. They've sort of won their way through week 1, along with York going 3-0, with the 1 point advantage of being one of the top seeds. To explain the situation if you haven't quite caught up with that. But two fantastic teams. I'm expecting some great work, especially from Lady Penelope, especially leading that York team and just going after the champions. I can't wait to see what they do against this team.
Of course, Loughborough with a slight handicap this week as Crimson's unavailable. They have Tom subbing in. Now, that's not necessarily a disaster for them. We've seen Tom perform very well before, and Matt has said previously that although Crimson is the better player, he has an easier time playing with Tom because he understands the playstyle better and they've been playing together for longer.
Yeah, they've been playing as a team for a considerable amount of time.
I mean, they're both graduating this year. I think Matt started playing back in his first year, so that's, 2.5 years at least?
Yeah, I've been there the entirety of Matt M's career, I think. I think both of us are OGs back in the way back when UK University Rocket League really sort of started. So it's been quite interesting to see him grow as a player and watching TDB as well. And just the two of them grow into this team and grow into leading it from the front. And now they're playing again. I mean, Crimson's sort of taken the light away from messing up some words, taking away the responsibility away from Tom to be in that first team slot, but still, Tom can still play at this standard, and it'll be a little bit of a test today against York, the team, like I said, who's been making their way through the off season, trying their best to take down some of the top teams, but eventually sort of settling down as one of the contenders to possibly be stealing a championship bracket, to be taking one of the championship bracket spots in the top 8, especially after last week, going into this week, being with 3-0 team.
I mean, they're now one of the top teams in all competitions, of course, qualifying for National League through. In fact, they did it around early, I think, on Tuesday, and also, of course, currently sitting 3-0, and with that one bonus point for being one of the top 48 seeds over here in NUEL. I think we're just about ready to get going. Loughborough, timely as ever, have just shown up. So I think we're going to get them introducing themselves now for the first time of the night on the pitch.
Let's get NUEL Week 2 started. For the kickoff, Lady Penelope against Matt M. Big win for Loughborough's TDB going up. No, definitely not high enough to get the second touch. Stamina up the wall, trying to drop it down. Team will make the block out and follows up towards the wall. Does get slightly blocked out, but Lady Penelope can have a challenge, but not quite good enough. Get up and challenge Matt M towards the ball. First 20 seconds, nearing 30 seconds going by, and Loughborough, they are not holding up on the offense. Going for it at the moment and maintaining pressure in the blue half.
And we see Loughborough, I think they must have had a solid 40 seconds in the green half there. I remember about to head straight back in now. I'm not sure if anything's going to come from it quite yet. But I think that's more testament to having Tom on the roster. He doesn't like to take many risks. He's a very solid defensive third-man player. And so if you get him on that centre line, it's going to stay trapped there at the very least, if not head back forwards towards that green box the majority of the time.
York now starting to get a little bit of pressure on, but as soon as I say it, Loughborough coming flying forwards. Matt M smashing it into the corner. It's not maintained pressure yet, but it's enough held defense at the midfield to prevent York. TDB going for a risky play there to get up, and Matt M hits the crossbar. Stamina needs to drop it down. Cannot find it. Hits the crossbar as well. Matt M maintaining control off the diagonal. TDB is shot just off target. Stamina turning, playing the ball to the corner. Lady Penelope dragging it across. JavaScript to the diagonal where Matt M is waiting. Clearance straight to Tinny. Tinny dragging it forward. Tinny shot blocked out by Stamina. His turn to bring it forward. Lady Penelope off the wall. Tom will put it into the centre. Matt M taking it forward. Fakes out the first touch. And it lets it just dribble through towards the net. Nothing special to start us off, but some smart plays coming through from Matt M.
And a catastrophic double commit for York as well. We see JavaScript having to half flip on the edge of his box there to attempt to get back, and then realises once Matt haven't got the ball through, it just wasn't happening, had to concede the goal. Tinny, though, might be about to equalise. No, it's off the post, and the play continues.
Well, York will have to start again, just getting fooled by the fake from Matt M to score the first goal, but Lady Penelope dragging it across. Can't find the touch into the centre. Matt M doesn't maintain control. Tinny bring it forward, but TDB can into the air dribble. Looking for the backboard touch. Blocked up by JavaScript. That challenge going the way of York as that falls deep into the orange half. Stamina taking it across. Matt M up. TDB can't find a way to drop it down. Or the teammate at least. Tinny. Stamina, and I believe Matt M
as well.
I can't tell if Loughborough are struggling a little bit against this York team, or if it's just trying to adjust a little bit more to Tom being on the side instead. Like you said earlier, he's a strong defensive player, doesn't like taking risks all that often when it comes to the defense. At the moment, Loughborough playing very relaxed, very patient. Whereas York playing a little bit more desperate. It might work out as Tinney's able to push it forward. Batten will block that out. JavaScript maintains pressure in that small corner. Lady Penelope blocking it out. TDB across the net. And no one will be able to play that. Dick Moyd, your boys your Loughborough colleagues are...
I'll try not to think about it while I'm casting, just makes it even more terrifying.
Your Loughborough colleagues just taking it easy this game one. No huge risks coming through. A few mistakes, of course. I mean, it is University Rock League. Those of course, are going to happen. But not many chances fully taken. A lot of crossbars hits until now. TDB, Tom comes through the score. But again, that wasn't really a big risky play. Tinney just stuck to the floor. Tom can easily come through and push that into the net.
If you stay grounded for that long, you just give your opponents so much space and freedom to place the ball where they want to. And I think if you're last man back in that situation, you have to go early, otherwise they're just going to score on you. Tinney, though, has an opportunity to start bringing it back now.
Still 42 seconds to go. Still enough time for York to bring it back. Tinney trying to fake out the defense, but Stamina won't fall for that. Matt M flinging it forward, but JavaScript sends it straight back. It's been an interesting game by York. They've had the opportunities, they've had the chances. They've had a little bit of pressure here and there, but still not going through.
I mean, they've had that huge opportunity before where I think it was Stamina played the ball to the back corner even though Matt was sitting on the back line waiting for a banger. York should have taken the goal there. Now, of course, York, they have brought it back with less than 14 seconds left on the clock before. That was against Baton Society Showdown, but this game, Loughborough are going to win 2-0.
Loughborough putting on probably the most measured performance I think we might see tonight. Just waiting their time, biding their time, and waiting for the right chance to come forward, for them to take the opportunity. Quickly moving on to the next match. It's not usual to see it's not usual to see on a cast. Producer, two casters just ready to go.
I mean, normally we'd like to take our time a bit more to cover this stuff, but I think we already know quite a lot about these two teams. I should probably say, in addition to what we were discussing before, that Lady Penelope and Tinney, who we've previously confused to being the Welsh former RLRS player, won the NSE 2v2 Cup last season. That was probably their biggest achievement as a team and the start of their meteoric rise. And now they're here, now they're playing in the highest possible bracket for NUEL, currently in the top 7. Might be dropping down if they can see the next two games, but Loughborough seem to be in control once again.
Camera switched to Tom there as he was sort of floating in the air waiting to try and redirect a play from Matt M, but nothing quite coming through. A bit like York here, just they have possession. They have a little bit of a chance, but they don't quite turn it into a clinical one where they can really start working. Matt M, use it for stamina, that'll drop down. JavaScript will clear the lines, taking it around the side. Patient dribble into the center. Tinney's there, redirects. Oh my goodness, that was almost phenomenal. That was blocked out from the top corner. But York, they won't give up. Tinney dropping it down. JavaScript a little bit late for that, but Lady Penelope getting the boost, taking it towards nets. Matt M getting in the way. Lady Penelope will rotate out. Stamina. Clearance upfield. Have another shot. That's saved by Lady Penelope on the line. Matt M across the net to TDB. Tom will send that wide. I'm so used to calling him TDB, I just keep getting mixed up.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. Decided to change his name, and we see Tom, TDB, however you choose to call him, opening the scoring in game number 2, just after a very solid 50 in the corner from Stamina, I believe.
Very solid start as well from this York team, going through with probably the more explosive chances. That redirect going through from Tinney off the pass of JavaScript would have been just a highlight play. What about Tinny again? Dropping in front of net. Nobody from York deciding to play it, but Lady P makes a challenge to put pressure on the net. Tom, taking it out.
I think that was one time I would have preferred a bit more risk from York. We saw two players sitting on the edge of the box. When reality is they needed one on that halfway line in case something went wrong, and they needed one a little closer. That ball was already so close to net. It was all they needed was a nudge to get in front, and that's exactly where it got. And York just handing away another opportunity, really. Now 2.5 minutes, they're still a goal down, haven't scored yet in this series. JavaScript's going to have an opportunity to pick this ball up unless he concedes it to Tom again.
York forced to jump again! Caught them leaning, and Stamina sends it into the back of the net. The second goal. The patience transcends just the play style. It goes into the shooting as well. Just waits for the little hop from York. Place it into the net. Stamina taking control. Matt M demoed into the net, but Tom will get back in the supporting role very quickly. Tom towards the centre, taking control again. Blocked out by Tinny. I thought it was blocked out by Tinny.
No, instead that ball just going to sneak through. It's these solid 50s again. Tom just rolling it a better time, and Tinny coming in at a slight angle. I think that ball just rolls in the perfect direction for Loughborough. Yet to concede as well, remarkably. This patient playstyle paying off very well in Crimson's absence.
Tom picking out from the back line once again. Patient play, waiting for the 50 to come through. JavaScript challenge on Tom is successful, takes away possession, will continue putting it to the centre for Lady Penelope. Control a loop maintained for a moment. JavaScript will need to get up for that. Stamina upfield. Matt M redirects, dropping it down. Tinny makes a save on the line. That was absolutely vital. Tinny into the centre. JavaScript shot just wide. Lady Penelope coming through the shot again wide. Matt M trying to barrel forward towards the opposition net. Doesn't find a way through for the moment. What about now? JavaScript. Not enough boost to make a proper shot on target. And once again, Loughborough getting a little bit lucky, but maybe it's the desperation of York that's getting them the roll of the dice for the moment.
Like a D&D +5 modifier or something. I'll excuse my references for now. Loughborough, of course, handing that one away off Tom, just being way too far up. He was sitting on the edge of that sort of 20-yard box, waiting for the ball to come his way. It was just glued to the back, and York were always going to get it out first. If he turned back sooner, I think he would have had a chance to maintain that offensive play. Of course, 40 seconds, 3 goals, it's going to be very difficult for York to come back still, but I'm sure they'd rather not be making these mistakes through the rest of the evening.
Stamina pushing it forward, blocked out by JavaScript. Matt M moving round, pushing it towards the net, coming off the ceiling. He won't find a way to get to the ball. That due to a lack of boost. Tinny taking control. Matt M is ready to make a block. Last 10 seconds to go. Loughborough just trying to find their way through one more time, and Tinny denies it. York battling for a goal at the moment, but still unsuccessful.
I quite liked Matt's play coming off the ceiling and doing nothing with it, because it kept York thinking, and I think it was deliberate to try and buy time. You know, York have been known to just pull off these clutch plays, saves, goals, whatever you want, and that time he just sat there, threatened to play. York weren't able to go, and that must have wasted maybe 3 or 4 seconds of the 15 remaining.
I was just watching in the background. Some people might have noticed I just sort of went, oh. I was rewatching Tom's save off the redirect from Tinny and how just demoralizing that might be for York. Just putting together such a wonderful play only to be denied by millimeters.
Well, Tom's back on the ball again now. What's he going to do with it this time? It's just a kick-off. Shouldn't have much utility. And it was faked by York, actually, which has left him in quite a promising circumstance.
I put a question mark over faked by York, if I'm being honest.
We do like to paint our players in the best light, of course.
I'm a bit more serious, bit more cynical. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It's just my nature as a caster. Lady Penelope taking it off the wall. Some there dribble flicking into the centre. Nobody's there for York. Nobody committing for that. Tinny will block it on the halfway line. Lady Penelope keeps the ball moving, but that goes straight to Matt M. Clearance upfield. Lady Penelope blocked out, but again by Matt M. His stamina, patience. Just taking a hesitant touch. Try and cause movement from York. They won't suffer the same fate until now. Man, that was a beautiful musty into the net. As Loughborough take a 1-goal lead.
Tinny just tapping that ball off the ceiling, and Lady Penelope, we'll call it optimistic in the midfield, because I'm not sure what he was doing there.
So you've joined me on the cynical side of things.
Yeah, just on this occasion.
Ooh, how about now?
Fielding that ball up for Lady Penelope. York looking for their first goal, and they can't find it. That ball tantalisingly close over and over again, but York can't find the mark, can't find the part of the net which Loughborough isn't covering again.
Dom sending it outfield. Lady Penelope. Sidewall. Tinny again. Pushed upfield. Matt M taking it under one. Blocks out another. Matt M recovers. Taking it up the York half. Only now challenged. Tinny over one. JavaScript very optimistic with the challenge. Tinny taking control. Putting it to Lady Penelope. Shot from JavaScript. Saved by Tom. Stamina up. Looking for Matt M. Matt M. Can't find the backboard. Lady Penelope will clear things up. To the centre. JavaScript again. Just goes wide. Lady Penelope. His shot blocked. Loughborough hanging on to a 1-goal advantage. TDB. Tom can't find a way through there. Stamina.
It's another time he's done it now. He's gone for a shot which looked unlikely going in. Looked even more unlikely afterwards when he completely missed it and almost left Loughborough looking for the boost for possession once again, because York was in control again. They handed it back off though.
JavaScript bring it forward. Can't find a dunk. Tom takes it off the sidewall. Tempted pinch towards the net. Falls a little bit flat with expectations. Matt M. To the sidewall. Tinny. Straight to the path of Stamina. Lady Penelope onto the backboard. Stamina, the shot again. Finds the post. And Tom will take an open net.
Yeah, I mean, it's these open net opportunities which I think Loughborough have been using as their primary scoring opportunities. I can't think of many sort of in-play, even contest goals. So it's a 50 goal, I think, between Tom and Tinny in game 2. And there was that 1 goal by Stam where he 50'd it and then Tom had the open net. But I think the consistent pressure and the patience from Loughborough against the riskier, I don't know, maybe high risk, high reward plays from York, except the reward hasn't been coming through on any occasion really.
I have to say, I feel like there's been a huge lack of maintained pressure by York. I mean, they've had some wonderful chances, don't get me wrong. But there's been no follow-up to quite a few of them. So even if they do force a save, even if they do force a good save from Loughborough, there's no one challenging on the back of it.
I think I just saw Lady Penelope again. I'm not sure why he was waiting on the midfield line, presumably hoping for a pass out, but just wasn't coming through. Tom, once again, a miracle save, tipping it off his own crossbar.
Then he has to make the save on the back line. Absolutely smashed upfield by, I believe, JavaScript into the centre. Tinny's there, blocked by Matt M. The perfect sweep is still intact. That's what's at stake for Loughborough in this game, really. Take the series. Perfect sweep is still there. Shot. Perfect sweep denied. Caster's curse. As usual.
I didn't want to
Gets rid of
call
the
it
record.
exactly for that reason. A brilliant passing play as well. Just the awareness that Lady Penelope was available on the inside, and it was Tom. I think he was a little too far forward there, and he was facing straight forward, not the position you want to be if they're going to play the ball to either side, because the side roll isn't going to make it all the way over. And that's that York has started.
Alright, I don't take credit for jinxing them now. I mean, look at the man here. Oh,
That's not it's not the best touch. There are definitely other better touches. Leaving it probably was better than getting that touch, in fact. And now Tinney's diving in, looking for a third. York aren't going to get that sweet winner just yet. 20 seconds on the clock.
York maybe hoping for overtime. Maybe with this shot by JavaScript, hoping it just loops over Matt M and they can take it in regulation. Blocked out by Tinney. His stamina coming through with the heroics this time.
Finally was being weeped by York, and now an opportunity presents itself. An overtime in game 3, the start of a reverse sweep perhaps. JavaScript starts the play by firing it towards that pink goal line.
Stamina. Trying to put a load of pressure on York, trying to be an absolute menace. Their opposing half. Matt M. Into Tinney. And for the flip reset. Takes it past Tom, but straight into the path of stamina. The huge clearance upfield. Lady Penelope straight off the backboard. Here's Tom into the center. Matt M is there, dropping it down. JavaScript will make the save. Stamina. Waits a moment.
I mean, it took all 3 people to stop Matt M there, but it seems York have got the ball away. Matt M looking to generate some pressure, but blocked once again. The last men of York standing strong and being that last line of defense that they absolutely need right now.
Bomb up. Goes high, dropping down, doesn't find the demo. Lady Penelope sending it straight upfield. Me do. Can't get control though. So, once again, York lacking maintained pressure. JavaScript. Taking it to the side. Gets one bumped into front of the net. Tom. Bit of a weak clearance, but ends up having a teammate bail him out. Lady Penelope towards the side. JavaScript with the speed coming through. Can he find a second touch? No, he can't. What about Tinney? Tinney's goes high. Tinney in front. Lady Penelope blocked out. JavaScript to the diagonal into the center. Blocked out by stamina. It's Luffer on the back foot in this overtime. Series on the line for York. Lady Penelope can't come through with the extra touch. But Loughborough still yet to breathe. I complained about a lack of maintained pressure. Well, York put in a shift. A continued shift of pressure. Tinney blocked out. That might just be rolling through after the top.
And it's not JavaScript just about getting away with it. Loughborough on multiple occasions getting away with murder. Having to get behind balls they had no right getting behind, getting the slightest of touches to throw York off. We've had another half a game here in game number 3. I think whichever side loses this is going to be left feeling gutted. York came back so late, seemed to have had so many opportunities stolen, and yet Loughborough wanted to throw a massive lead. Stamina with a huge shot, but it's not to be once again.
Starting to see a few more cracks appearing in York once again. Stamina almost passed to for that opportunity. Tom sends it high. Lady Penelope dropping it down wide, but straight to Tom again. Matt M comes through, taking possession. Finds a way to take it high. Tom can't defend his net for the moment. It's his redirect. Sends it wide. Sends it high but not wide. Stamina. Maintains pressure with the challenge. York and Loughborough going to war this overtime. Lady Penelope blocked out by Matt M. Tinny. Dre upfield. Tom taking control, maintaining the returning pressure. Stamina. Into the center. Matt M is there. Goes high and wide. Just past the top corner. Lady Penelope to Tinny. The redirect should be cleared up by Matt M. As it is. Lady Penelope finds a way to slow things down against Loughborough. Just past the 4 minutes mark into this overtime. Stamina trying to slow down JavaScript. Tom finds a way through for a moment. Lady Penelope needs to get up. Blocks out one chance, but straight back to Stamina. It's Loughborough's turn on the front lines before it's denied by Tinny. And JavaScript can't find a way through. Matt M clears things up, but Sigmoy, this is such a tough overtime for both teams.
I think if Loughborough wins, it'll go down as the greatest 3-0 sweep in the history of University Rocket League. That's how painstakingly close this has felt throughout. Matt M now bumped up Tinny. Thought he had a follow-up maybe, but couldn't get the touch. JavaScript left to tidy that one up.
York. I've had so many opportunities this game. It's been such a wild improvement on their previous performances. Lady Penelope taking around side. Few wall wave dashes to recover into a situation. Stamina makes a save on the line. Doesn't have a boost to make a huge clearance. Finds Matt M though. Can't find a waterfall, but it finds its way to Tom.
Stamina
Blocked up.
That was almost
Here comes Matt M. Off the crossbar. Stamina up. Second touch. Just wide. Loughborough team are throwing everything they can against York. York are throwing everything that they have against Loughborough. But it's shots going wide. Passes being met by opposing numbers. What's stopping this overtime from being closed by one of these teams? Tinny has a shot! Bouncing it off the wall. And after 6 minutes, we finally closed the book on Game 3.
And I think we have to watch another game of this after that. York is starting to come back into this. It's starting to look like York may be the better team on the night here, even though Loughborough hadn't conceded a goal until less than 2 minutes on the clock this time around. York, they've been provided an opportunity. I said at the start of the overtime, if they pull this off, it's a massive reverse sweep. And I think they have what it takes.
They have what it takes, but can they beat the experience of Matt M and Tom? That's the last remaining question mark. I mean, these guys have been here before. They've been in situations where they're possibly going to get reverse swept. They've been in these exact situations.
I mean, we had it twice in the NSE playoffs, I think. Semi-finals, playing Kiel, they go up 3-0 in a best-of-7 series. Kiel take 2 games in a row, despite seeming like the worst team. Loughborough incredibly tilted but bailed out at the last second by K3, firing the ball into his own net, saving Loughborough on the day. And then in the grand final, facing it off against UEA for what must have been the second time that weekend.
Must have been, I think so.
Yeah. Once again, up 3.
Wait, no, I think it was the first of 2. I think it was the first of 2 meetings between the 2 teams.
I mean, they faced a lot, from what I remember. Cause I think
that's fair, that is true.
UEA, I think we were in the upper bracket as well, and I feel like we had a similar sort of affair there.
Ooh.
Almost such a perfect passing play as well. Loughborough starting to try more. They realise York is starting to take a few more chances. They've warmed into the series. And I'm sure with that overtime one, they're feeling a little rejuvenated. Matt M is centering that ball up again for potential Loughborough attack.
Stamina. Looking out JavaScript for a moment, still being a little bit of a nuisance. It has worked out for a moment. Matt M is up. pinching it off the ceiling, but not quite into the center fully. Tinny blocks out Tom's pass into the center. Stamina again getting in the way. This is what Loughborough have at the moment, just being annoying as they can. Matt M
I'm
going
not sure
through with some heroics.
Touch. He just needed to put it somewhere. I imagine the back corner was covered because that seemed like the obvious place to put it. And Matt M, once again, an undesirable touch. The captain of the Loughborough team not got his mind on the game right now, it seems.
A tilt factor might be coming through. It's Matt M taking Lady Penelope out of the play. Not by demo, but just by bumps. Kept up for York into the corner. Lady Penelope can't find an angle. JavaScript a little bit slow to try and continue the play, continue movement. Stamina out to Matt M. Shot on target. Save from Lady Penelope. Out wide. Stamina taking control. Can't find a way down to Tom. And Tinny can bring it forward in 1v1 into the center. JavaScript is there, and that's a goal for York. The opener for game 4. Goes to the team in green.
It was no fluke that over time, it seems. York, for the first time this game, playing with the lead, I should say, claimed it right at the end of the last game, but didn't have anything to follow up on after that. They'd already won the game. Loughborough seemingly on the back foot now. They had an advantage, and, well, if they'd taken it in game 3, you wouldn't even have to question whether York had improved as the series went on or warmed into it.
Now it's Loughborough playing from behind this time. It's Loughborough who are the ones who need a goal. What can they do whilst playing from behind? Lady Penelope takes it wide. Tinny continues to play. Matt M to Tom. Control to Loughborough again. Tom trying to 50 away through. Makes it past Lady Penelope. That JavaScript will clear things up on the back line. Matt M again waiting patiently. 50 against Lady Penelope. Tom shot wide again. Bumped on JavaScript. Just about recovers to push it far enough wide to take it away from Loughborough. Matt M on the back line. Picks up 100. Going from the start. Bumped out of the way. Lady Penelope trying to drop it down and away. Finds the recovery into Tom. Wide. And just over.
Again, the woodwork getting in the way of so many Loughborough shots, and that's been an issue going back as far as October, November, as far as I'm concerned. This side, although they're patient and clinical, they can't place their shots amazingly when they're under pressure, especially Tom, who's done it a number of times now. 30 seconds, Tinny looking for the clip, and he can't get that final touch on the ball, which would have sent it goalwards.
Tom upfield. Stamina dropping it back down. If Matt M was just suddenly appeared out of nowhere there and blasted into the net, what a passing play that would have been. Matt M can't win the 50. Tom off the ceiling. His Stamina blocked out by JavaScript, and York might put the nail in the coffin here. Breakaway goes unanswered. That's more time off the clock. 0 seconds. Great block coming through from JavaScript. And ladies and gentlemen, the first game of the day going to game 5.
Who'd have thunk it? Perfect sweep on the cards only, 10 minutes ago? And now Loughborough staring down the barrel of being reverse swept by York aside. Oh, no, I'm not playing for Loughborough this evening.
Tom dropping a wow. Not quite yet, mate. Not quite yet. Loughborough start off the game, trying to be a lot more positive as they move deep into the York half. Matt M off the wall. Tinny into the middle. Tom reacts a little bit late for that, but Stamina is right on the ball.
The fact that shot didn't go straight to the target, I think, might have benefited Loughborough here, because I believe JavaScript or Lady Penelope would have had that save first time around. The fact it bounces off the back one and back out for Stam gave Loughborough such an advantage. This lead now should make all the difference for Loughborough. They've only lost from a lead once, and that was in that stupid 6-minute overtime that they threw with a kickoff goal and so many other poor touches.
Getting rather venomous here, actually. My goodness, Sigmund, it feels like you have something against the Loughborough boys. Anyway, Matt M. Can't quite clear it out cleanly, but Stamina and Matt M coming together. Fake from Matt M, takes it past one. Lady Penelope blocks it on the backboard. And Tinny will have to clear things up. That was a good play from Loughborough coming forward, but couldn't make the most of it. Maybe one too many touches, and JavaScript flying on through to equal the scoring.
Caught in the penalty, yet Stam just showing up for the boost, then realises far too late that he's being caught forward, and I think that was Tom on the back line, left with no hope. Pretty much JavaScript had that double touch pretty much dead on.
He now be shot on target, blocked by Matt M. Tinny can't make the play. Tom pushed it upfield. JavaScript to the centre. Matt M pushing it back to the York half. Loughborough and York once again trying to make their way through towards each other's net. That pinch almost being vital. Tom, shot easily saved by JavaScript. Off the wall, slowly. Again, taking time. Time has really been the story of this series. Starting off with Loughborough taking their time towards net, taking their opportunities where they can. And it's moved on to York taking a long overtime and making their way back into the series through some very quick plays. Stamina upfield. 2:45 left on the clock. And Tom makes a breakthrough and takes the lead for Loughborough.
And it's off of another pseudo passing play, not necessarily with the intention to pass to a teammate, but a solid 50, getting in the right place, is positioned well for Loughborough, and they're able to score from it. York, in the meantime, looking for flashy plays which haven't been pulled off quite so effectively. Tinny now going up, he's tapped it past one, I think. Going to get a second here. The trap against Matem, can't get it, has to play it backwards to Lady Penelope.
Lifted upfield by Tom. Huge pinch towards net. Stamina waiting patiently in the Loughborough half. Stamina up for the flip reset. Finds it, trying to drop it down. Great defense coming through from York. 2 minutes 5 left. This is so much time for York to come through. Loughborough need a few more goals if they really want to drop back into a more passive and patient play style they seem to just be defaulting back to. Whereas York, it's not desperation anymore, it's calculated. It may look fast, frenetic, and they're getting desperate. No, this is calculated until now. I think all three of them caught moving up.
That was just
there it is.
On forward of the halfway line at the same time. Lady Penelope realised it first, tried to get the block with that pre-flip, but just not getting behind the ball, not getting the deflection that York needed. And now they've done it before. At 95 seconds, a $2 deficit, it's going to be difficult for them to pull off the comeback again.
A little bit of hidden credit goes to Stamina there. Bumping, I believe it was Tinny from the halfway line deep into the Loughborough half, making it much easier for Tom to push home that goal. And you know what made that easy? A great play from Tinny.
Just Matt jumping in the midfield, trying to... I'm sure he's trying to get a bump or a block on that ball or something, but just not fully aware that his teammates had him covered. I know that they were ranked. I've played with everyone on that side of the field. But Matt, maybe not having the faith, he says often, that time does make a solo play, redeemed himself there as he's able to force the ball through all three.
Great play off the kickoff. Easy as you like. One team looking to remain undefeated, move to 4-0 off the back of this, and it's looking like Loughborough have recovered from a brief drop in form, be slowly but surely clawing their way to that 4-0 record.
And it's a slight shame that on the record we will never see that this game was so close to being a reverse sweep. It'll just be York sitting on 3-1, which ultimately isn't a bad scoreline. There are teams that would be envious of that and still leaves them well within contention for the prize playoffs. Thanks if I don't start to come back right there. Had to hold my tongue for a second.
Stamina, round 1. Matt M takes it over another Lady Penelope. Has to be said, York has some very good communication from time to time. Looks like that Penelope just very calmly saying, "Oh yeah, don't worry about being beaten, I'm here. And you know what? Go the other end, you two. Score another." 26 seconds to go. The threat of a comeback looms once again for Loughborough. As York find their way through to make it 5-3.
Do you believe? Do you believe, Dragon? Do you think they can get 2?
Nah, I'm cynical. I'm lying about there being a threat looming. This is just Loughborough's to close out for the time being. 15 seconds to go.
I don't know, 14 seconds seems to be a cursed time playing against York. Loughborough have gotten past it though. 7 seconds on the clock.
Wait, you guys get cursed against York?
York. In Game 3 against Bath and Society Showdown qualifiers. It was looking for sure a Bath game. That entire series should have gone to Bath, but York scored 2 goals, including a buzzer beater, and then won the overtime off a kickoff goal. This situation, though, Loughborough are going to very cleanly take the very end of the series, and I think that's where we're going to leave this series. An incredible showing between the two sides, but ultimately, the better team on paper holds their resolve until the very end and comes out on top.
An excellent show to start off our evening, but don't go anywhere. We'll be having 2 more series casted and streamed this evening, but they'll be left down to caster discretion, so we'll make sure to pick the most entertaining ones for you, just like I feel like we've done a great job there, but we'll see you after the break with the second of our 3 games tonight.
Help me find the right words to say to get us back on our way. Can we try to fight against the grain of throwing out what we made? The future's far away, but I will stay because I feel again. I feel again, oh now I feel again. We're bringing this back to life. We're picking up where we left off and on again. We never quite could forget, 'cause what we got so intense.
it goes so fast, all tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to play in my mind like standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know my patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger, Ain't no luck finding real love. Gotta know where to look. Time moves fast, and I've grown up. Yeah, I want to you. Used to play in my mind like standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know my patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger, What can I do to make you stay a little longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a little longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger.
We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit. With a new shit.
It's murder. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
Hello again, it's me, Sig, and Dragon once again bringing you more NUEL Spring Championship action. We have Staffordshire and the University of the West of England facing off. That's Bim Bam and the Sea Stags. Red and black. The players are actually pretty eager to get going, and as are we. Any predictions before we start the game?
played UWE recently, and Staff's Bim Bam have gone through a little bit of a, let's say, predicament with their qualification towards a national league.
Do I get to speak up on this one? I took 2 games off them, guys. The free team. Let's go.
Well, it matters how they've sort of shaken that off and sort of are trying again today. But UWE, playing them, they have their playstyle still intact. They're very happy with that playstyle intact. It comes down to whether staffs can find a way of breaking down that playstyle during this series. I don't think we should hold them back. I mean, they've been talking in chat a little bit, trying to mess with each other.
As you'd expect.
As you'd expect from university competitors who are stuck in a lobby together, with the game not starting yet. So yeah, I feel like based on form, it's hard to say at this point in the season, as these teams haven't quite met in a lot of competitions yet. But I'm gonna go with UWE taking this. I'll give Staffs 1 game, 3-1 to UWE in my mind.
Okay, I'm inclined in the same direction. I think it's going to be either 3-1 or 3-2 UWE. If you had to force me one way, I'd go 3-1 as well. But just to be different and controversial, I'll say 3-2.
Well, it could be the start of a long night if we have another 5 games, so I'm not particularly against it being ended early before that 3-2 mark.
Don't worry, we're last time around we were actually held out by Newcastle and not our own series, despite the 6-minute overtime.
Well, here we go, Addy Rowe into the centre. Bread is there. What a save from Incog. Going through to save UWE's Bacon early on. Theorist going through on the challenge. Sebadam is up. Addy Rowe will block out the second touch going through from Sebadam. Clearance to the midfield line. Theorist pushes it towards nets. Blocked out by Bread again. Incog dropping it back to Sebadam. Sebadam up early. Gets the flip reset. Rolling it through. Blocked out again by Staffs. Addy Rowe looking for the back line. Doesn't find it. It's Bread demoed for his efforts. But Incog a little bit stuck after losing that ball. Sebadam, one of the highest level players that we have across University Rocket League. Wherever you look, Sebadam's definitely at the top of lists, but he doesn't have to be a top mechanical player. Find a way through there, just a perfectly timed challenge. Right there. And he goes flying through the Staff's defense.
Despite Staff's trials and tribulations, they haven't been able to score. They had that huge shot before, baited out 2 members from UWE from that goal line, but they managed to pull the block off, and now they've managed to secure the lead. I think it's more patient style from UWE coming through. Sebadam waiting for his teammates a little more, not, letting easy goals through. And Incog, we see a patient player, Staffordshire Bim Bam, tried to rush down that ball, pays off, he's able to get an open net goal again.
They're going through. This feels like the usual UWE that you play against in the south. It's Sebadam trying to lead the troops, and then Theorist and Incog keeping up, especially Incog. But Addy Rowe find a way through. Huge 50 going the opposite direction.
That's it's a nice little redirect, starting to tie it back up for Staffordshire. Coming for kickoff, of course. Better teams hate them because they're the most volatile state of the game. Goals can go either way at any moment. We saw it last series, Loughborough throwing away Game 3 at the beginning of what seemed to be a massive comeback for York. They pulled it back to Game 5 and lost at the very end.
Incog can't find a way through. Well,
50th.
Incog can't find a way through, but I think Theorist has an idea.
Yeah, he was got the second touch on that, and it sort of caught Addy Rowe off guard. He'd already moved over to near post, expecting for 50 not to go so spectacularly wrong, and then it did.
That's just 50s for you. Try your best for nothing to go wrong, but something always goes wrong. Incog gets up, gets a little bit of a block on it, as Bread doesn't have enough boost to maintain control on that. Up to Incog towards the backboard, can't find a second touch. Trying to emulate Dax a little bit from his recent double touching escapades that Sebadam bumped into the ball. You meant to bim bam the ball, not Sebadam.
Yeah, I'm sure Bread not intending to do that, but when you do try to rotate via the near post, that's the sort of shenanigans that can happen. I'm sure Sebadam wasn't expecting it either until he recovered from the bump, but you know, UWE will take it. 3-goal margin is especially large, and when Bread isn't able to turn those towards a target, it becomes even more concerning.
This flick just a little bit looping. Sebadam taking it slow due to a lack of boost. Still ends up working out. It's amazing how Sebadam's got an incredible read on the game. Sebadam up, shot blocked out by Bread, Theorist. Giving himself enough space to get back and rotate round, but like I was saying, Sebadam has fantastic read on the game, fantastic read on opposing players. That's what you get for being a RLCS / in and out of that qualification zone. I would say it's weird not really having a set bubble anymore, considering those bubble teams do have an opportunity to play in the high level competitions. But Sebadam was sort of sitting comfortably in that RLRS upper bubble area. Yeah, back when RLRS was a thing.
Some of these kids won't remember anymore, will they, Dragons?
Some of these kids won't remember RLRS. Tell you what, we remember. Incog on the back line.
In my day, it used to be BDS, the top of the league.
Back in my day, BDS didn't even have an org.
Oh my!
I think I saw a fact today. I saw the fact today. It was 421 days.
No.
Since we last had a LAN or a major or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Not really
yeah, it's been far too long.
And at that stage, the unorged ARG, Incog doesn't care about me talking about these sort of things. Though. Look at that, 19 seconds left, he scores another goal, interrupting me. How dare you? ARG, now BDS, finished 5th in the RLRS. That's amazing to think about. The team that are now sitting atop Europe were nowhere near that seat. Nowhere near that crown.
Was that Elite Cup? No, it was December. No, that was just Worlds, wasn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Of course, that was before Monkey Moon, before Extra. In fact, Extra was playing on a remarkably strong Fade Array back then, and then they crumbled. Ignite retired, lost another great.
It was Monaco, wasn't it? It was AS Monaco that it came from.
They got acquired after the season, I think.
I was talking about RLRS, but UWE just...
This, and we'll get back to focusing on this series. UWE did take game number 1, 5-1.
I feel like we've been sold short here, because if Theorist got one more goal, we would end up with the most satisfying final scoreboard you could ever imagine.
I would have said you'd taken the L on that one, but the ones were like, nah, it's the wrong way. Hang on, wait, which is left? Yeah, but the L was the wrong way around for you to be taking it anyway. So, yeah, truly dissatisfactory from the scoreline. And from Staffordshire for just not letting a 6th in, specifically from Incognito.
From Theorist, with no assist coming through, no other shot being technically allowed. At the moment. we're starting off with a Staffordshire that don't even look like they want to take the game that we've been so politely trying to predict and give them.
I think having Nats so quickly ripped away from them has had a massive effect on their mentality. Because that, of course, is probably what they were focusing on. That's the achievement all teams around that sort of top 40 level want to reach. And yet they've missed it by a considerable margin. And maybe they're just not feeling it in the same way they used to. Lars, Bread, Addy, all solid players within their own right, but not able to finish the job on the day. Maybe, though, they have gone a minute here without conceding a goal. Maybe they can start to bring it back. Addy Rose sitting on defense right now, looking to make a play.
They do look a little bit more focused, a little quicker. Seems like they've found a little skip to their step. Zaddy Rowe taking it forward towards the side. Can't get blocked out by Sebadam. Second chance, 50 into the center. Theorist out to the side. Sebadam taking control. Flicks past one. Flicks past the second. Not towards net though. Incog sends it wide. Sebadam still has control. Push towards net again. Doesn't get through. Relax a little bit for a moment. Bread able to escape. Shot was going wide, but Sebadam decided to send it flying out of defense. The flick towards net, blocked out by Bread. Slight double commit as Incog sends it into the middle. Sebadam needs to get there, and does. Incog taking control again, dropping it into the center, looking for a teammate. Theorist too slow to get onto the ball.
He had so much time to play for Incog. I'm actually a little disappointed he wasn't able to achieve more with it. He could have got a massive pass off, could have turned it into some crazy dribble play, but just sort of handed it to Staffordshire.
Theorist sends it high and wide. Sebadam again blocked out from pushing it to the center, but I'm not sure if he even had a teammate to really press that advantage. Sebadam taking control, taking it around the side. Blocked out by Bread. Incog needs to follow through. Finds Wabe. Loz on the wall, blocks it out. Addy Rowe patient for the time being, letting the ball take a path for him to challenge. Sebadam up. Great 50-50 on Addy Rose. Sent it high across the ceiling, but Staffs still feel just a little bit off. UWE coming through with the better chances. Nothing coming off Staffs and well,
I mean, that wasn't the way I expected the adrenaline rush of those cold uni showers to hit, but Loz does find a way to beat out Incognito, which is seemingly too far forward. And he drove out, tried to get the challenge, realised too late that Loz was going to get the touch first, and didn't really adjust. Probably could have saved it with the side roll.
It does give UWE a little bit of chasing to do. Incog locked out. Demo. Theorist going high. Addy Rowe does read it in time. Sends it over wide. Sebadam off the corner. Addy Rowe blocking that out. Incog look for the backboard. Blocked out by Loz. Theorist of Wind up. Dropping it down. Nobody there to send it home. So sent out deep into the UWE half. Loz take control. Blocked out. Not quite blocked out. Incog finding the touch. Doesn't send it wide, just into the top corner.
It was one of those where it was like, if that doesn't go in, like almost straight away when it's going to bounce out, and the post that time was forgiving to Staffordshire. 63 seconds, a 2-goal lead. There's a comeback possibility, but I think Staffordshire is starting to maintain some control. A little terrifying for a second there.
Theorist of Wind goes high again. Sebadam blocking that out. Incog up. Can't find the shot. Theorist of Wind dodges a little bit too early. Sebadam sends it high, trying to set up a teammate. Doesn't pull it off. Theorist of Wind. Incog. Redirect doesn't find a way into the net as Severdam taking control, looking for the touch off the wall, finds it off the ceiling, looking for a floor pinch, finds a way through. Adiro saves it off the line. And Staffs may be able to hold on for the last 10 seconds. And you know what? They'll add to it. Staffs looking a little bit more quality with their touches and with their play. So they'll equalize the series.
I think Staffordshire will take this as this is... I mean, I'm sure they'll have played Scrims in the meantime, but this is their first solid win in at least a few days, I want to say. They've probably had some decent ones on Tuesday night, but, you know, they're all, you know, really tight, at least when they were playing against us, talking no more than 1 or 2 goals. Staffordshire seeming to be suffering with some connection issues right now. We'll see how they handle that going forward. I think we'll just play through it, and I'll assume it's a visual bug my end. But
Brett has readied up, so play with the flashing red mark. Seems to be okay to continue. UWE, a little bit of a recovery maneuver required this game 3. Loza sending it deep into the UWE half. Incog up. Maintain controls. Bread sends it towards Net Theorist. Shot blocked out by Loz. Sebadam up. Taking control. Tries to go under. Finds a way through. Sebadam scores the opener in game 3.
And this is why being patient on the back post is so crucial. We see Bread showing up. Probably could have just gone for that straight away, actually, but just hands it off to Addy Rowe. If Addy Rowe doesn't go there, just takes his time in the back corner, that would have been a save for Staffordshire, in my opinion. We've seen them play decently from behind before in game 1. Of course, they started conceding a few more towards the end, but there's no barrier, at least, to them still coming back in this series. And of course, there's a convincing victory pass around Loz now, dropping the ball back to the middle for a potential play for Staffordshire.
Addy Rowe dropping it down. Here's the wind will take back control. Can't push it into the center. Agog will have to get back and try and block Bread. Bread finds way through. Taking it up the wall, trying to take it across the ceiling. Maybe overcomplicating a few bits and pieces there.
That's the sort of point, really, where you just want to be letting the ball die. You're not going to make much of it, and the opponent, unless they control it really well, is just going to end up hitting the ball to you as Addy Rowe takes another shot towards net.
Incog can't continue the movement, can't continue the dribble. Bread pushing it into the center. Theorist. A bit of a light touch towards net that's denied. Severdam continues through. Flip reset doesn't find a way onto net. Theorist into the center. Severdam up. Push takes it past 1. A little bit of miscommunication there. Zincog bumped by Sebadam. Sebadam to the center. Addy Rowe blocking it out to Bread. Shot on target. Theorist of Wind finds a save. A slight double commit coming through from UWE though. Addy Rowe shot denied again. Loz blocked out, and here's the counter. Sebadam won't be able to make it back back upfield in time, but decides to take the boost away from his opposing numbers. Incog bumped forward. Addy Rowe pushing it across net, hoping for a teammate. Loz is there onto the sidewall. Taking it down past 1, but not past Theorist. UWE maintaining a 1-goal advantage through Staff's pressure. 2 minutes 30 to go. Bread can't drop it down. Addy Rowe does have shots. Sends it wide. Sebadam pushing it past 1. Inco continue the movement past the second. Loz is back. Addy Rowe will find a block though. Back post rotations. Good work from Staffs to find a bit of structure, but at the moment it's not 100% required as Sebadam denied by Loz. Fantastic save coming through. Staffs and UWE are starting to put on the show that we really would have loved from the start of the series rather than the 5-1 thrashing we began with. Sebadam pushing it forward, Addy Rowe. Bit of a mistouch as Theorist and Sebadam just a little bit too close to each other for that pass to come through. Save from Incog. Rex on the back lines.
Okay, that's how Stafford tie it up. He's going to tuck that one in the near post, and UWE unable to respond. Ball just bouncing around quite a lot. That trap against the back ball from Red proving crucial, setting Andy Rowe perfectly in the middle of the box.
Kickoff goes to advantage. Stas. Eddie Rowe has possession. Can't find a way through. Sebadam Loz off the side wall. Comes directly back at him. Doesn't have the angle to continue the shots. Sebadam keeps the ball moving. Still UWE on the back line. Incog upfield.
I'm going to point this out now because I think it's kind of pertinent. That's the second sort of corner double tap that Staffordshire have gone for. Except that time Loz just sort of played it off the corner twice. If you're going to expend all your bigs doing that, you really want to be getting more action on the ball. Like that ball should be going places either towards a teammate if it's coming
Sebadam.
up. Oh my, yeah, that's a shot. Or it should be going towards the box, trying to generate some pressure, force contact from the other team, in this case UWE. And he just sort of did neither, let it flop in the corner, and there's no danger there.
Incog sending it back upfield. Can't find another touch, can't find a bump either. That might have opened up the net for the winner. Flick very early from Bread. Might have.
Demo.
Sebadam lets it drop.
I'm sure he would have preferred to flick that ball in a position where one of his teammates could have scored, but I think overtime was probably the safe and sensible option at the time.
I feel like maybe he was just letting it drop and hoping it would hit the curve and pop up back into the air. Continue the play, but doesn't quite have his way. Loza.
That's a demo.
Fantastic air dribble. Can't find the drop down. Sebadam. Play blocked out. Theorist of Wind looking for a second touch. Block doesn't come through. Incog over Loz. Sebadam up. Can't find a drop down. Loz off the sidewall doesn't find a way through. And this
Contact from a teammate there. I think Loz might have set Bread off because that ball should have been. Sebadam capitalizes on the chaos, finishes the job for UWE, and they take the lead once again, 2-1 in this series.
Credit where credit's due. Theorist with a beautiful pass into the center. We've seen quite a few attempted passes today. Just be a little bit, maybe too far on top of the car, maybe too far in front. But that was great work from Theorist to get in the right position. So Sebadam only had to make one minor adjustment, just slowing down for a moment to take the shot. So match point for UWE. They could take the series here. All staffs finally answer a few questions from their critics of the past few days. And earn themselves a series win. Sebadam taking control. Puts it past Addy Rowe. Pinch. Just about comes off, but nobody in the center to finish off and help out. Incog, dropping it down. Loz is up. Tricks Theorist, but nobody else. Sebadam easily blocks out the flick. Addy Rowe dropping it down. Loz pushing it forward. Incog out. Addy Rowe's there. The shot on target. Theorist of Wind dodging a demo to become the hero for UWE in that moment. Incog up. Blocked out. Sebadam Going for the backboard. Loz will drop it out. Loz has definitely improved over the past few games, getting a little bit more confident, a little bit more flashy, and usually that's a sign of good confidence for a player. They get a little bit more confident and go for a few more flashy plays to go into their arsenal. Sebadam trying to drop it down, does find an angle. The save from Loza comes through, but it's not quite enough. And Theorist of Wind opens up the scoring. What could be the last game of the series.
Yeah. I'm unsure. Did Sebadam catch the ball with the end of his flip while he was in the air?
I think just a little bit.
That may have been what turned it, because without that, just a scrape on the ball, I don't think Staffordshire would have been half as caught off guard.
Finding a tough angle like that is absolutely insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. But Sebadam makes it look easy, and the UWE team sort of think of being kicked back into gear. They've been speeding things up. Loza into the center. Bread can't find the touch. Theorist of Wind. Pushing it back upfield. Incog will take control. Past Adiro. Theorist of Wind is there, dropping it down. 3 minutes to go, and UWE are picking things up once again. Second goal to their lead and advantage.
Stas seemingly lost as they appear to be in the first game right now. Only 2 minutes gone and 2 goals conceded. UWE, I want to say, regaining some control. They didn't look like they had it in games 2 and 3. Managed to piece together that final goal in game number 3 to secure the overtime, of course, but now they've returned. They're composed, they're patient. And Staffordshire Bim Bam, while Bim Bam was effective back in 2019, doesn't seem to be the way forward anymore. Loz able to tap the ball over one, but no real pressure generated just yet.
Red sends it high, cleared out towards the side. Staff staying aggressive, staying in position. You do find one goal back to cut the deficit down to 1.
I've been made to eat my words here. They were composed. People, please give me that. But yeah, just able to somehow throw that one away, and Adi wrote at the last second threading. Oh no, we've seen this happen before tonight.
Seen this happen a few times across probably both our casting careers. There's another misplay coming through from UWE. We're gonna have to start from square zero again. Sure, you've scored a few goals, but that doesn't mean much if you conceded 2. Red out to the side. Loza. Very little boost to push this forward, but tricks out Sebadam. Going very low with that play. Loz turns around, takes it past 1. Theorist of Wind upfield. Incog is not there to take the pass. Irish Sebadam. Incog towards net. Bread sending it wide. Theorist to the center. Sebadam, the pre-flip blocked out. Adiro past 1 to Bread. Bread shot just off target. Theorist to the middle. Adiro to the side. Sebadam up. Takes it past 1, not past any more of his players as the UWE team put pressure on the net, but it's instantly countered by Staffs, sending it straight back. This is good work from Staffs at the moment, blocking out in the midfield, keeping pressure in the UWE half, and it might pull off here. Yes, it does.
Yeah. Staffordshire starting to link up a bit now, starting to find those passing plays, which I think both teams have been looking for so much. And now, 64 seconds, 1 goal lead. It's fragile, but Staffordshire have definitely held their leads a lot better than UWE. Oh no, don't make me. Theorist of Wind almost.
Sebadam, here we go. Oh, I thought that was going in. Oh, they are cutting it close, aren't they?
Right.
Sebadam moving across, taking control away from Loza, blocks out Bread. That will drop down into the center of the pitch. Theorist off the backboard. Loz needs to get up, doesn't get up quick enough. Theorist of Win can't find a way into the net. Sebadam goes high, and Loza will need to clear things up. Theorist of Win, the challenge comes in, but doesn't find the connection with the ball. Loza, shot wide again. Sebadam lets Incognito through to take control of the ball. Last 10 seconds. There needs to be a goal for UWE if they want to clear out the series, unless they really want this game 5, which I doubt. And Sebadam seemed like an odd drop in the moment, but not sure how much Sebadam would have really been able to do in that situation. And Staffs claw their way back into it, and they've found themselves into a game 5.
Well, let's see now if they can hold it. This is honestly weird to watch, the contrast between playing against them on Tuesday and now casting them tonight. And knowing their Game 5 record is shaky at best. It was a loss to... Oh, it might have been York or something. Followed by a loss to Beckett. And then a very, very shaky Game 5 against the Loughborough Rapid Gamers. God help us with our team names. That was actually Stamina's suggestion at the time, but we'll forego that. And Loz should be picking this one up to stop Incog getting a free goal.
I mean, if you think Loughborough names are bad, have you seen the Warwick ones?
I actually rate the Warwick ones. Saying Tim 10 times every time I have to reference their team was actually a lot of fun last week.
No, thank you.
By the team composition as well. Timmer is characterized as like the go-to B team player right now, and yet they've chosen him over Gopher and Alice. I guess those team compositions just not working out for them.
Yes, sometimes it can be down to the play style. Maybe Tree Forks changed the dynamic. You wouldn't really want to dare to take Walden out of the team, would you?
Oh no.
Have you seen the man? He's massive. Don't mess with him at LAN.
His car? It's huge as well. He has like a car to match. It's so long. That Batmobile doing damage in Warwick's games, I'm sure. Not sure on their record tonight. I'll give that a quick search right now. We do have a game right here, though. Dread. Oh dear, he's let that one roll straight through, fortunately.
No one from UWE wants to challenge that, do they? Guess not. Theorist of Wind. Taking control in the midfield. Leaves it for Addy Rowe. What can he do? Trying to leave it off for Bread. Sends it straight back. You know what? If Loza was there, I'd think that would be a beautiful passing play. Well put together. Nicely measured. Trying to build an opportunity from the ground up. But no, they sort of end up missing out on the advantage. Incog. Upfield again. Finds another block. Finds the boost as well. Does find a Demo. Demoed himself. Sebadam across net. Addy Rowe blocked that out. Sure, he had a moment of his life flashing before his eyes. Or the goal flashing before his eyes. What could have been if he was just a little bit lighter on that touch and clearance. UWE trying to find their way back upfield again. This has been a tough game for UWE. They get past Staffs. And Sebadam, shot saved by Addy Rowe. Theorist. Off the sidewall. That will fly straight into the path of Sebadam. Cross pitch. Incognito. Won't be met with the ball.
I see. Addy's just going to control that ball perfectly. That double commit wiped off his record right now.
Might be a double commit, but if you're able to sort of follow through and maintain a bit of control to allow your teammate to recover, there's a lot of damage recovery that can be done. Unlike here, UWE double commit there. Sebadam will just be able to come through off the back of their own double commit on defense. Theorist of Wind looking for Sebadam. Sebadam takes his time, gets to 50-50 instead. Bread sends it upfield. Addy Rowe looking to be the one to get hold of the ball as he puts it to the center. Loza will find a way onto the ball. Theorist. How's the ball past him? Sebadam. Shot blocked. And Theorist of Wind demos to get rid of one player. Incog to the backboard. Dropping down into the center. Bread finds a clearance straight to the path of Sebadam. No one turning to help out the shot or the pass. Incog towards net. Loza dropping that down. This is good work coming through from UWE to put pressure on, get creative. At the moment, nothing's been particularly threatening towards the staff's net. It's just been pressure in the staff's half. Sebadam off the front of Addy Rowe's car, looping across net. UWE, Sebadam! Damn, that was a good goal.
Yeah, just so many touches. Getting that nice double tap off the backboard as well to position it. I'm not sure it was even behind the Staffordshire defense, who just didn't really have the time to react to it. Now, 43 seconds away from losing their third Game 5 this week.
Third Game 5. Couldn't be me. Mostly because I'm not good enough to get any Game 5s anymore.
I mean, it's odd because we have Switch, who seems to consistently get into Game 5s and lose them, or at least he spent a significant amount of time doing it last season, to the extent that he had to tweet about it in full caps. All 280 characters used. I'm sure Staffordshire will be left feeling enraged after this as well, assuming they can't score a goal in these last 5 seconds. Red turning the ball towards the goal.
There it is. Series closed out for UWE. And another Game 5 on the books for this evening. Another Game 5 loss for Staffs, as you were saying, but Addy Rowe doing everything he can to try and prevent that loss. But just one goal was required by Sebadam. A moment of class. Takes UWE and moves their record on to, I believe, now 4-1 going into their last game of this week. And that is what's going to be coming up after this break. The last game for these teams in NUEL for the week. Don't go anywhere.
Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. We lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm. Now we won't go back home today, until the very last hour. We still got a few more days to slay, it's gonna get so much louder. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm. I wonder what went wrong today, Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words you say, to say the words to remember.
Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you.
Guess what? We're back again. It's round number 6 of the NUEL Spring Championship. We have Warwick A playing against Durham A. That is... Oh god, not again. Tim playing against the Durham Defenders. Dragon, you've seen these two teams play before, surely. You got any thoughts before we head in?
No, I haven't seen this new Warwick play, and I think that's the big difference. I think last split it was, I think it was Gopher playing in the first team with Walden and Treefork, and now it's of course Tim joining them on the team with his namesake plastered over the scoreboard 10 times. And Durham, I've seen them play a few times. I don't think I've had a full chance to get a feel for the roster though. It is a very skilled team, qualified for Society Showdown, qualified for what would have been DDI, unfortunately, if it didn't get cancelled. But it's a skilled team once again. It's another team like York who's shown how much progress they've made throughout the off season and shown what they can do to a significant extent. And these two teams, I'm sure, will be looking forward to showing off their own progress one more time on the last series of today.
Durham's issue is they always seem to peak in the pre-season or the very early parts of the season and then drop off towards the end. We saw, I think they were 4th in the Swiss stage for NUEL last season. And then I think they fell off to either 5th, 6th or 7th, 8th in that prize playoffs bracket, missing out on all the available prizes. And I think it was the pre-season event, the first Society Showdown, the beginning of big streams and so on for University Rocket League, where they almost took it all. They were either 3-1 or 3-2 against UEA and just didn't hold their form, I guess.
And
I think the players are ready. They've been pretty eager to get going.
They look ready to go. We've had a little bit of chat in the pre-game private match DMs, especially over who's captain of the Warwick team. But Treefork starting off things. He is the captain, and he'll start the scoring.
That he will. Albop missing that follow-up on kickoff. He saw the goal go to the right and then back to the left, and before he knew it, it was all over. 2 seconds was all it took for Warwick to break the deadlock in this case.
Just pushing it towards centre. Modisha will clear things up. Walden looked out of the play. Treefork sends it wide of the mark as Zouch can bring it forward, taking it off the wall, pushed into the centre. Modisha goes flying past his nose, unable to cure the redirect towards the net. Treefork trying to bring it off the wall, blocked out by Modisha. Timmy blocked out again. Zouch off the wall, flicked into the centre. Modisha goes up, Walden drops that down. Obop into the centre, blocked again by Treefork. Timmy will block that back. Not sure if that was going to be rolling in, but Treefork, if it was, might be having some choice words with his teammates. Must be serious words from the captain. Sent across the Durham net. Modisha sending it clear. Walden across, looking for Treefork. Into the middle again. Zouch will need to clear the lines as he comes off the wall. Pinch it into the middle. Modisha again. Deep into the Warwick half. Dropping down in front. Treefork finds the clearance. Obop whiffs past the ball. Treefork again. Another whiff. Looking for a demo to clear out players. Doesn't find it. Minute and a half, just over that, into the game. And Warwick are holding on to the advantage they've held since 2 seconds in.
I'm a little surprised I haven't seen Treefoot go for any really stupid upfield plays yet. Because do you remember the first game we had Lady Penelope sitting on the halfway line a little more often than I liked?
Yeah.
Treefoot likes to do the same thing, but on the other team's backboard, and that, although it didn't cost them very often in NUEL, in fact, it almost led to some success in a couple of cases. It's not the easiest for watching, as you can probably imagine.
Be a pain in the neck for the teammates sometimes. Zouch, blocked out by Timmy. Into the center, Mordisha is there, blocked out again. Walden will be able to take control of this, looking for the Cooksit pinch. So that goes flying up the pitch. Into a much more threatening position. Easily protected. Walden taking the doink. Sending it wide. Treefoot taking control. Flicks past one. Obop out again. Walden shot into the middle, saved by Zouch. This is all that Warwick need. They just want the pressure on the Durham net. An extra goal here would be helpful, but not really required, as they do hold the lead. 2 minutes left on the clock, dropping it down. Mordisha sends it out again. Walden into the middle. Treefox shot wide. Walden the redirect, almost flying in. It's Timin versus Zouch. Zouch past one into the net. Walden, the 1v1 master of Uni Rocket League, could only watch as a teammate gets beaten by a 1v1 player himself.
I can only think that Treefoot was looking for the pass there. Clearly didn't see a way to the back of the net immediately, but just ended up setting up the opposition as Walden hit the ball down onto a Durham player, probably Zouch. Thinking back. 90 seconds now. 90 seconds for a team to break through, to find a small difference maker, but at this stage of the game, perhaps the goal that wins them the first game of the series.
Zouch taking control. Can't move it forward as Mordisha has a whiff, and Walden sending it back into the Durham half. Obop taking control from the back line. Treefoot blocks that out and towards the net. Mordisha makes a save. Timmy taking control, waterfalls it down, and Walden is there, and it's that simple for Warwick sometimes. 61 seconds left on the clock, and Warwick makes it 2-1.
These 61 seconds are going to be telling for Durham, because they're a side which has been known to go from hot to cold and back to hot again, all within the same game. Zouch now, looking to beat up Treefoot, can't get the win, but does sort of pop up nicely.
Walden up, sending it back towards the Warwick half. Timmy's keeping it inside Durham's half of the pitch. Obop blocked up by Walden. That's Mordisha. Has a shot off the crossbar, and that almost bounced in off two defenders.
Almost
doesn't find a way through though.
Treefoot though showed Durham who's boss with those demos and bumps, so Walden now picking this ball up the sidewall and looking for a continuation play.
Mordisha out to Zouch, looking for an equaliser in the dying seconds. Timmy out into the centre. Walden finds a clearance. Obot will need to take this all around the world if he has a chance. He doesn't. Warwick take game one.
And to think that was starting to look like it was going to go Durham's way. Warwick almost let that ball through on defence. The two players on back, I think it was Treefork and Timmer, sort of fighting for control of that ball and almost putting it into their own net. Did was able to get it out to the corner and maintain that one goal, that fragile lead, which they were able to hold right up until the very end.
Here the teams go again. Game two. Treefork with on the front line as Mordicia and Walden come together. Treefork up into the air off the ceiling. That was slowly but surely looking more deadly by the second for Warwick. Zouch up, dropping down. One play might look deadly for Warwick, but Durham make the simple plays look good.
Was that Timo that wandered off to the right there on a little boost excursion? I mean,
I think that was quite the adventure from Timmy, actually.
yeah, it was. I'm sure he had a nice break, but he does need to get back in the game now. As Warwick goal down, 25 seconds gone. It's the best time of the game to concede, but I'm sure they'll be looking to recoup that loss as soon as they possibly can. Walden able to get that ball away.
Walden dropping it down. Treefork taking control, flicks it past one towards the net. Walden is there, fakes it so Obop and himself don't pinch it and send it flying. Walden again, one of those extremely smart players, takes all that experience from ones. One of the things that I'm sure has been beaten to death by casters calling Walden a ones player, but it is true. So he's been consistently at the top of the 1v1 charts for University Rocket League. And it shows. He makes some very smart plays and smart challenges as he does there. He knows how to use the Batmobile quite viciously. He's looking for an opportunity to put pressure on. Durham takes it past him though. Treefork out into the centre. Mordicia is there. Can't make the most of that demo inside the Warwick net. Durham keeping hold of the 1 goal advantage though. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this game. Walden, shots, save from Zouch. Is falling in front of nets. Treefork is there. The weak shot though, easily blocked out. Timmy out to Treefork into the centre. Mordicia is up to make the block though. Walden out wide. Treefork's turn. Obop gets in the way though. Walden needs to get up and find a block as he does. Treefork sending it out. Walden trying to get on the way of Zouch's play as it's pushed towards the centre. Zouch keeps it going. Treefork tries to get control as it's taken away from him by Mordicia. Obop continues the movement around the side. Walden up, sending it towards the backboard. That'll drop down. Zouch will get in the way, however. Timmy into the centre. Mordicia, the shot towards the backboard. Walden will block that out. Fantastic read coming through. Durham messing with Warwick at the moment, playing havoc. What might be denying them is just a few missed touches, a few touches that are slightly heavier than what they might have wanted. Walden's shot saved by Obop. And Warwick can't find a way through for the moment as Timmy's shot denied by Zouch. Walden will need to rotate round. Get in the way. Mordicia's shot again on the sidewall. But Durham, they're looking to make the most of this advantage, looking to widen the gap between themselves and Warwick, but maybe they're being a bit too casual about it, trying to find their next goal.
That was an opportunity here for Tree. He skied it. Treefork's just handed the ball away completely to the Durham side. Walden going to tap that one away, I'm sure. The Warwick captain, as he pointed out very clearly before the start of the game, is going to be kicking himself after that one. Hopefully himself and his teammates don't fall apart. They do, of course, still have the overall series lead currently. Might be slipping away from them as this clock starts to tick against them.
Hopefully for the sake of Warwick, he's not leading by example and we don't see more whiffs and misses come through from Warwick. Treefork towards the sideboard, bounces down to the centre. Zouch finds a clearance. Timmy off the sidewall himself, into the centre, leaving it for Wardens. He takes it past one, blocked out by Obop. Treefork shots towards the goal and finds a way through. My goodness, the captain once again trying to lead from the front as he finds an equaliser.
And oh my god, that's such a perfect angle as well. able to catch a ball with those front tyres just under the crumple zone of a car and turn it into the top right-hand corner, just inside where any defender was going to be able to reach. Of course, you need a pretty outwards touch there. If you hit it against the post, there's a chance it still goes in anyway. 20 seconds now if a team wants to find goal within regulation.
He drops it down. Mordish will get the block though. He's out into the centre. Walden can't get the clearance as Treefork moves it back into the Durham half. Demos for his efforts. There should be a little bit of time for Obop to make a way to ground this, and he does so by pushing it just a little bit out of reach for Walden, sending it to the floor. We have an overtime in game 2. Almost very short-lived as well.
I think Mordish got a second reset there if he wanted to use it. Chose not to. Would have been a brilliant opener for Durham if they could find it.
I think Treefork just getting away with Timmy there in terms of the clearance. Treefork looking for a way upfield. Walden just going back for a moment. That loses the opportunity for Warwick. Treefork up off the ceiling. Can't find a way through, but Timmy can help out. This is 50-50 almost. Gets Warwick the goal they need.
Oh my, that's a huge double. I think Tim's got an open net to What? We mentioned leading by example, and Tim has just done exactly what Treefoot did only a couple of minutes ago, which is slam the ball into the backboard. I've seen professional footballers do it a few too many times to my liking, and now it seems the trend is spreading.
Treefork taking control from the back line. Pass 2. Can't find a way past Zouch though. Demos in for his efforts on the back line. Timmy back up field. Can't find a dunk as Mordisha plays it safely around the side into the center. Zouch. No goal yet. Timmy shot and Mordisha doesn't find a way back in time. Warwick take a 2-game lead. And Timmy
Oh my god.
finds the overtime winner. I've always wanted to use that one. That one.
Oh,
It was right there.
You've broken me. That was a perfect first setup from, I think it was Walden, just able to get that second touch off the corner. I talked about it in the staff series. You have to do something if you're going to bounce a ball off the corner. Hitting it back at the corner is no use. He tips it off the backboard. Treefork has a setup, bounces off the near post, handled by Durham slightly. They gets away, and then Timmer, the third man, enough time's been bought for Walden to get back. So he drives up, he takes the shot and just tucks it behind Mordisha to secure that final goal. And match point, series point. Last of the night.
Last of the night. But if this evening has anything to go by, Durham should have a few aces up their sleeve moving through this series. We could be here for a late one. Durham continue the trend. If not, Warwick packing things up early, and it's much appreciated. Timmy off the sidewall, can't find the block. Obop taking it up onto the ceiling, pushing it into the center. Zouch gets up, doesn't get a clean win of the challenge. Timmy sending it to the corner. Off the ceiling, bouncing out, Walden backflips. Treefork has an opportunity. He finds a block. Mordish's turn with the ball, flicking it upfield. Walden leaving it for a teammate. Timmy. The ceiling. Can't flick it towards net. It'll be Treefork's turn to maintain possession. Zouch. Past him. Treefork up to block Obop. Timmy. Outfield. Mordisha in control. Durham calm to start off with. As Mordisha takes it past one in a slow play, but huge demo coming through. Walden clearance along the back line. Zouch can't find the net. Treefork blocked out by Obop, taking it forward with no boost. Timmy doesn't get a clean clearance. Zouch into the middle. Mordisha pushing it towards the center. Walden gets a clearance. Dre outfield, that massive Batmobile coming into play with some very heavy hits. Obop blocked out by Timmy, and 1 minute 30 in, 90 seconds of an all-important game 3 have passed, and Walden with cooks it pinch blocked out by Mordisha. That floats in towards the net. But Durham, they seem calmer. They seem to have relaxed and settled into this series. The only question is it too late now to bring this back? As Warwick have still maintained the levels of play they started this series with.
Oh, that's a whiff from Obop. A whiff and a half. Zouch forced to bail his team out. Timmer playing it towards the middle. But ultimately, Warwick not scoring a goal. Durham holding strong early on in game number 3. A promising start, given they've got a lot of time ahead of them if they want to start bringing the series back. Timmer once again turning the ball towards net, but it's a little slow, a little sluggish, and Zouch getting another block. Durham doing just about everything they need to stay in the game, but they do need to get upfield. They need goals, because if they can't score, they can't win, they can't start a reverse sweep comeback.
Woodon into the centre. Treefork is out the shot on target. Mordisha makes a save. We've seen so many fantastic saves and heroics being put on by so many players tonight as Warden puts into the centre. Mordisha will clear things up. Sending it out. Timmy to the centre. Treefork is there. Finds a challenge. Met with Obop. Timmy doesn't quite have the speed and the control to maintain possession. Walden towards the backboard. Obop. Only one challenging. Straight back to Warden though. Mordisha. Back lines. Over one thanks to the bump. Zouch is up. Can he find the touch in? No, he can't. What about Obop? Top right corner. Pick that one out. Durham start the scoring in game 3.
We see Treefork edging towards that front post. He didn't have as much faith in Walden as he needed to cover that near post. And so, Obop, all he has to do, turn that ball towards that top corner behind Treefork, the hardest position to reach in the net, and only made worse by that mispositioning error.
Shot towards the backboard. Taking control of by Zouch. Walden. Again, smashing it back with possession. It's been so back and forth between these two teams. Nothing quite concentrated yet towards the backboard. Dropping down. Walden can't play the ball as Obop makes a block. Obop to Mordisha into the centre. Zouch is there with a pre-flip. Incredible work by Durham.
It's the hesitation again. It's crippling Warwick. See Treefork showing up here. I think he doubles back for a second. You can't see it as well in the replay because of the time dilation. But Walden and Treefork both go for the same ball, both stop, then both start going again. And that ends up being what costs them 60 seconds to find 2. It's going to be a difficult one, I think, Dragon.
2 goals, last few seconds. The ace has really been pulled out of the sleeves by Durham. Mordisha bringing out field ball and sending it straight back. Obop lets it through for Zouch, his teammate, to take control. Mordisha doesn't find a way through. Treefork, it's him against Obop. The great block from Obop just about does enough to hold off Warwick for a moment. Zouch whiffs, but I think he faked out Treefork for a moment there as he was in no position to find a way through. What about now? The second touch, it's easy for Treefork. But faked out for a moment. It was so close for Durham to hold off this Warwick attack. They just let Treefork through for a moment.
Imagine, we've seen a 2-goal lead thrown once before. We've seen it thrown twice before. It's happened in both the series so far. This would be the third, and this time it would be to win the series 3-0. That's a huge pinch down the field, and with 50 seconds, Timmer has an opportunity blocked by Mordisha, though.
Warwick allowing the play just to work a little bit too much, maybe. So they need to get through. Treefork's shot on target, saved. Goes high. There's still time for Warwick as Timmy's shot and hit don't connect. And Durham, they take their first game of the series and they deny the sweep from Warwick.
Barely take game number 3. It's the finest of margins between these two teams, but Durham are going to be mounting a comeback this time around. I'm a little tentative. I don't want to say that Warwick have lost all momentum, especially with them getting that late goal. I think Durham have a lot of work to do but compared definitely to game one, this feels like a tight series.
Definitely does. I think Warwick are taking some time to discuss, trying to maybe settle a few nerves. Should be surprising if there aren't actually any nerves on that team. I think they're just taking a moment to sort themselves out, talk each other through why they let the extra goal in against this team.
I saw Durham join and then leave. I think Obot might have had some difficulties. He is here now. Has made it. And we are off for game number 4, and I think Walden's going to get the beat on this ball.
Give me a shot. That is absolutely stupendous. That is fantastic placement going through from Timmy.
There is no way it should have been a goal. Mordisha should have got that clear 99% of the time. But I guess on this one occasion he's gonna let it slide and just hand Warwick the advantage on a plate. There's no nice way of putting it, really.
Treefolk can't block that out. Timmy can. With upfield, Treefolk redirect into the centre. Timmy's there. Oh, what a passing play to start off for Warwick.
Okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, there we go. Treefolk has now decided he's going to do the thing where he sits well into the opponent's half and then finally sets with his teammates as they get the ball to him. I think he wanted the goal himself there, now that I look at it.
He didn't quite get it, Timmy. Just one to convert, and once again putting in a great challenge in there. But Warwick not diving in, not putting extra pressure where it might be a bit unnecessary. Mordisha around the side. Walden taking it across. Blocked out by Zouch. Obop towards the side. Treefolk towards the net, and Zouch will take control once again. Mordisha upfield. Treefolk turns, sends it back up. Mordisha around the side. Treefolk can't find a way through for the moment. What about Timmy? He's blocked out by Zouch on the second touch. Just under 90 seconds gone in this match, and Warwick have that 2-goal advantage. As it stands, Warwick take the series 3 games to 1. Durham denied an extra win to their record. Timmy, outfield to Treefolk. Timmy keeps it going. Fakes out one in front of net. Can't find the dish. And Durham just in time to recover. Woodland clearing the lines of Warwick as Treefolk can't find a way through into the Durham half. Obot to the side. Walden there off the diagonal. Zouch doesn't find the play. Treefolk is up to make Durham pay for their mistakes, but plays it wide. Warwick will have to go again. Durham pushes them back into their own half, but only for a moment. Durham struggling for pressure. Still just able to handle it themselves.
I like that Durham's finally been able to stabilise the play. I think this is progress, but they need to start getting upfield again. I was saying this last game when they were taking their time getting upfield. Now it's doubly important because they're down goals. Walden now setting up Treefolk. That's a third starting to look impossible now for Durham. I was saying they need to get upfield more. I think they might just have to take more chances than they're willing to take ordinarily if we're going to take this now.
The odds are starting to stack up against this Durham side. There's another misplay coming through. Obop is taking control, taking past the entry fork. Blocked out. Odisha towards net. Save from Walden. That'll drop down. Zouch is there. This shot on target. Timmy unable to save. And Durham. Maybe
certainly
the
a
start of a little
start.
comeback.
Certainly a start as Timmer. I mean, the positioning wasn't bad. He could have done with facing a little more outwards, I think. Could have covered a little more of the net than he showed was possible. Well, though, still have a considerable advantage, though. 90 seconds left. Of course, we saw York pull it back before. There's a possibility that Durham could do the same here. As Zouch pops the ball, presumably for Mordicia, but Mordicia is no longer on this pitch, so he gets taken out of play.
Into the centre, tree fork, blocked out Walden. Sending it straight across the pitch. Mordicia in control. Can't find a way past Timmy. Zouch, forward. Second touch denied by Walden. Would have found its way flying into the centre, but all of it denied by Walden's read of the play. The last 50 seconds to come through. Durham, they need to find one more goal, I'd say, in the next 10 or so seconds, and it's so possible with Zouch coming off the ceiling, blocked out by Walden. Challenge from Odisha down into the centre. Obop there. At their second. Walden flicks the wrong way. 30 seconds remaining. Warwick want to hold out this game. A 2-goal advantage to play out for Durham to find. Zouch blocked out. Walden looking for a pinch. Upfield. Tree with the doink. He's up again.
No way he follows.
And challenges Obop. Oh my goodness. Tree fork.
Rude.
That's one way to put the nail in the coffin.
That's just straight savage. Fakes the aerial. Oh, he actually catches it before it lands as well. Throws Mordicia through a loop. And I think with 7 seconds, it would be a little far-fetched to say that Durham still has a chance.
Well, it's elementary from here. Just let the time tick down. Let the ball hit the floor. Walden will keep it up for a moment. Demoed by Zouch, but that's it. Warwick take the series 3-1. And in very fine fashion indeed. To round up our games today.
Yes. Now, we could talk a little more about the series, but we do have other results to bring you. Untied at the top of the table on 6 wins and no losses is the Loughborough Lions. Surprisingly, given they have a substitute.
Please tell me it was game 5 against Essex.
No, it was 4 games against Essex.
Well, luckily that frustration for Switch doesn't continue, but unfortunately he doesn't get to sit on top of the NUEL standings this week. Being undefeated, but Loughborough, the last team standing with a 0 in that column to the right. But plenty of wins in the left.
Yeah, so all these teams want to be in the West League, and Loughborough Lions certainly leading the West League right now. I think, though, folks, that's all we're going to have time for this evening. So, Ivan Sigmoid, joining me has been the RW Dragon.
Yep.
And I think some combination of us will be back next week to cover more of NUEL. So, see you then. Bye-bye.